Hi guys, 18 Dapper here and welcome to this match preview for Tuesday or Wednesday night's game against Accrington Stanley. Let's get the video started. So guys, welcome to this match preview, Doncaster Rovers versus Accrington Stanley on Tuesday or Wednesday night. Purely depends if Accrington Stanley's game goes ahead. Tomorrow, when I'm recording this, as you guys watch it, the game may be an hour underway, or we may know that it's been postponed. If the game is postponed, this game is on the Tuesday night. If Accrington and Lincoln play on Sunday, this game pushes back to Wednesday. If you're an existing subscriber, welcome back to the channel. If this is a video that's brought you to the channel, welcome. Please click that subscribe button so you don't miss any content. And if you are new to the channel, this is a format that we go through match previews. We look at the previous meetings between the two clubs. We look at current form across all competitions. Obviously, if the Accrington-Lincoln game is played on Sunday, it's going to be missing that game's form out. I choose a Doncaster Rovers player to focus on, and we look at the opponent, brief history, and my opinion on the one to watch for you guys. And then me and the family give a prediction for every single league game this season. So there's an update on that league table, and then to finish off, I give my score prediction for the game at the very end. So without further ado, into previous meetings, and we've only faced each other 7 times since Accrington's reformation, and it's not looking too good for Donny. This is the third bogey team we've come up against in a week, with Fleetwood, Sunderland, and now Accrington. In those 7 games, we've only won 1, we've drawn 2, and Accrington have come out on top on 4 occasions. Looking back at the last 5 meetings between the two clubs, back in League 2 in the 16-17 season, it was an away defeat 3-2, and then a home draw 2-2. And then skip forward a couple of seasons to the 18-19 season in League 1, and it was a bad double for the Rovers, a 1-0 away defeat and a 2-1 home defeat. And then last season, in the 19-20 season, we only managed to play each other once before the season was curtailed, and that was a 1-1 draw at the Keepmoat Stadium. So recent history is not too good if you're in the Doncaster Rovers camp. Hopefully we can turn it around on Tuesday or Wednesday night. We do need a good result. And that leads me on to current form. So current form at the minute, Rovers in their last 5, 3 wins, but we've hit a little bit of a blip with 2 defeats in the last 2 games. And then Accrington's, once again, if the game is currently being played when this is released at 7 o'clock on Sunday night, there may be a different result at the end of this, but from when I've recorded it, they've got 2 wins, 2 draws and 1 defeat in their last 5. Accrington having a very good season so far. They sit just outside of the playoffs in 8th, and they've also got 3 or 4 games in hand in the teams in and around them. So a couple of positive results in them, and they could be well in the playoff mix. I believe they're well in the playoff mix as it is, but they need those points on the board from those games in hand. Some great results over the 5 that I've looked at, with a 2-0 win over Hull City, a 6-1 win over Bristol Rovers as well. But looking at those very good results, they're also coupled with some not so good results, with draws against Plymouth, 2-2 draw and a 0-0 draw against Northampton, and then a more recent defeat, the 1-0 against Plymouth. So a bit inconsistent in terms of being able to pull out performances. It looks like they're capable, very capable team in League 1. So from the Rovers' perspective, we can't be underestimating them, especially with the results that we've had over the last couple of games. And as I've already mentioned in this video, Accrington should play Lincoln at 6 o'clock on Sunday, so they'll have kicked off an hour before this video is released. But I do like to get game previews out 2 days before to give you guys the opportunity of watching it at your leisure. So if the game is called off on Sunday for a frozen pitch, this game I believe is moved back to Tuesday. So I still want to get that video out 2 days before, which is where the confusion's coming. It's a very strange season thanks to COVID, but we're getting there as a community. Moving on to the Rovers, another poor day at the office today. I'm recording this a couple of hours after the final whistle, and the final whistle saw us slump to a 4-1 defeat at the Stadium of Light, and what that's done is close the gap for teams below us. I don't think we're in too much danger of falling out of the playoffs yet, but we do need to get out of this slump in form very, very quickly. And a quick reflection on today's game. Defensively, very, very poor. I'm not going to pick an individual out for a poor performance. I think collectively as a back four we just were not good enough. Didn't stop crosses, didn't pin Charlie Wyke. I mean, it was 4 crosses, 4 headed goals. Just not good enough defensively, and I think the whole back line would be fair enough to say that they didn't have a very good game. Going forward, we looked a lot better than we have done recently, but there was still a lack of composure. Very toothless going forward. Missed 2 penalties. They were very poor penalties in my opinion. So yeah, just overall, it was one of those games where if we were better defensively as we have been all season, Charlie Wyke wouldn't have had that space or those opportunities, and if we were more clinical at the top end of the pitch as well, the scoreline could have been easily the other way around. But in the next breath, it could have been much worse on the day. So yeah, very tough one to take, a very confusing game to watch. But after the Fleetwood, where we just weren't at the races at all, we were slightly better, but the scoreline was worse. So hopefully Darren Moore gets into them over the next couple of days on the training ground, and we shake ourselves out of this dip of form quickly, and we start midweek against Accrington and then a tough game against Hull on Saturday. But the poor performances, for me, it hasn't been something that started only a couple of games ago. I think looking back, the poor performances have kind of been creeping in since the Shrewsbury defeat on the 22nd of December. We've said numerous times on this channel that we've ground out defeats, and a team who's going to go up has to win ugly, and we have been doing that. And when you are winning but not playing quite as well as what you're capable of, you see it as winning ugly. But then at some point, like we've seen over the last couple of games, your luck will run out in football, and those poor performances coupled with poor results starts to look a little bit more concerning. So hopefully the performances are coming back. I think with the addition of Sims, Bostock, Robertson, when they're all up to speed, even Bogle, I thought Bogle had quite a good game today, up top on his own, looked strong, physical. But yeah, I think once they're all firing on all cylinders, we could get back as a force to be reckoned with in League One. But as it is at the minute, very tough, and we need to shake ourselves out of this against Accrington Stanley. Moving on to player focus for the Rovers, just mentioned him, one of the new guys, Josh Sims. First time he's been in the squad since returning on loan and from injury, and as soon as he's up to speed, I think we have got a cracking player, far too good for League One. And coupled with Bostock, Smith, Robertson, Taylor when he's firing, I think we've got a very, very solid midfield. So very happy to see Josh Sims back on the pitch, and when he came on, we looked a lot more threatening going forward. We looked like we had a bit of impetus going forward, and yeah, the more he's in the squad, the more chance we've got of coming out of games with a positive result. So glad to see him back in a Rovers shirt. Fingers crossed, promotion, who knows, it's a long way to the end of the season, but I think if we've got any chance of keeping him next season, we have got to be a championship team. If not, he'll be long gone, and I will be gutted to see the back of him because he's a fantastic player. So yeah, hopefully stays fit and helps us continue climbing the table. And we've got the games in hand, so we've still got top 2 in our sights. Moving on to the opponent, Accrington Stanley. So Accrington were founded in 1968. This was the reformed Accrington, currently managed by John Coleman, fantastic manager. Says it as it is, very straight down the line. I like him as a manager. I think he's doing very, very well with Accrington. As you can see with their league position, games in hand, he's doing a cracking job for them at the minute. Tends to play 3-5-2, that could benefit us. He has swapped his system up a little bit over the last couple of games, playing a 4-3-3, but I think if Accrington come to the Keepmoat with a 3-5-2 setup, it could play into the Rovers' hands with quick wingers getting down the sides. It's going to be an interesting game. But yeah, John Coleman, fantastic manager. Looking back at a couple of honours for Accrington: League 2 winners in the 17-18 season, Conference National winners in the 05-06 season, and Northern Premier League winners in the 02-03 season. So positive kind of period for Accrington in terms of football history, and looking very good for a potential playoff push and potential championship football next season. So let me know in the comments down below, Accrington fans, if you're watching, do you think this is a season where you can continue overperforming? I would say. I think expectation would be a mid-table season, but you're doing fantastically. Is this a season where it's all going to click into place and Accrington Stanley potentially Championship club next season? Let me know in the comments down below. And moving on to the player to watch, in my opinion, for you guys, I was tempted to go with one of the strikers, Bishop or Charles. I believe it's Charles. Yeah, Charles or Bishop. Doing very well, 12 goals and 9 goals between them. But for me, I have gone with the guy who's creating the majority of goals. Highest assists is popped up with 8 goals himself this season as well, Joe Pritchard. And he's just one of those players that can dictate the pace of play. Sprays the ball left, right and centre. Tricky, quick. It's going to cause us many problems midweek if we don't pin him early. If we stop this guy from playing, we've got a very good opportunity of coming away with a positive result on Tuesday or Wednesday night. So for me, Accrington fans, Joe Pritchard is my one to watch for you guys this week. Moving on to the Predictions League table. So as I said at the start of the video, me and the family predict the scoreline for every single game this season. If we get the scoreline spot on, we get 3 points. If we get the result right, or the outcome of the game right but not the result, we get 1 point. If we get it completely wrong, we get no points. And I went with a draw against Sunderland. The rest of the family were a lot more positive than me and went with Rovers wins. We got battered 4-1. Well, I say we got battered. The scoreline says we got battered. It was much more even. But because we got beat and none of us went for a defeat, the table stays exactly the same. So Max still occupying top spot on 18 points. Then it's Chris on 17, Dad on 16, and I am rock bottom on 13 points. So hopefully I start getting some correct score lines, but I'm hoping this is not one of them, because I feel Accrington are on a positive run of form. I think the confidence will be there. They're having a fantastic season. They're a bit of a bogey team for us, so I'm predicting with my head and not my heart. Hate to say it, but I think we're going to still be in this little dip of form until our players start clicking and gelling, the new guys. I think we're going to struggle. I'm going with a 2-1 home defeat. I hope I'm wrong. I hope I'm miles out. I'll gladly take no points in the Predictions League table on this one, but something in me just says that we're not going to be enough on Tuesday night. Like I say, hope I'm wrong. And that's where I'm going to leave this video. Bit of a downer for Rovers fans, but if you have enjoyed it, big thumbs up for us please. Comments in the section down below. If you haven't already, please click that subscribe button. As always, thank you for watching, and I will see you in the next one.